Hello, my name is Marli Vivian Pinheiro Lopes de Araújo, and today I will present the project for SSU paper confection. So SSU is a nationwide company. It sells paper and has multiple warehouse and network of agents managing high volumes of paper selling. So the goal of this project is to design a star scheme data warehouse that will help the company to get a clear view of its profits and to improve control over its transactions. So, as the company grows, it needs better ways to monitor its business activities as well as to evaluate its performances. So, this project focuses on creating a data warehouse using a star scheme structure, which will help the company again to manage its data and to have a better way to make decisions. But before we talk about the design, let's talk about a little bit about data warehouse, which is a system designed to gather and transform raw information into useful information. So, in the case of SSU, the warehouse will allow the company to consolidate information from different departments such as sales, customers, warehouse, and to transform these in actionable insights. So the idea of building this warehouse, it requires understanding of the key business question that SSU needs to answer, such as how profitable each warehouse is or what product categories are performing the best. So the star scheme is an ideal solution for organizing this data in a way that it is easier to analyze and report on. So, a little bit about star scheme. So, the star scheme is a simple, effective way to organize data. It consists of a central fact table that contains quantitative data such as sales, prices, and quantities, and it is surrounded by dimension tables that provide context like customers information and product information. This design resembles a star and with the fact table in the center and the dimension tables are branching out from it. So for SSU structure, to have a simplified data access and to improve query performance and also to help generate business insight much faster. Okay. Before we jump to the design database, we need to talk a little bit about the process. So, okay, here we have three types of design models. So, we start with the concept model, which defines the data system, what the system contains, and it focuses on business concept. We also have the logical model, which details how the data should be organized, define entities, relationships, and attributes. And finally, we have the physical model. We translate the logical model into an actual database tables with details such as table names, columns, and data types. So here we are going to talk a little bit about logical database design for SSU. So this project will move from the logical to the physical design by creating tables for sale data, warehouse, product, and customers. So for SSU scheme, we will start with the fact table, which will contain the core transaction data, things such as sales, prices, and quantities, and will be surrounded by the dimension tables that we mentioned earlier, and it's going to be information about warehouses, information about products, information about sales, customers, and so on. So for example, in the case of customers, we are going to have like one table just to talk about customers ID, customers first name, last name, I don't know, age, gender, email. It will depend what the company wants to know. And regarding the fact table, it will act as the backbone of the database, link all the relevant details together. So the dimensions will help provide additional context to each sales, allowing SSU to see which products are sold the most, for example, which warehouse are performing well, and other critical business insights. So here, as you can see, we have an example of logical database. It's a little bit small, but basically we would have the information. For example, let's say information about customers. So we would have the customer's ID, which would be, would select that one as the key. And then we have first name, last name, date of birth, email, such and things, and then we would classify the types of business, and then we would determine which one can be nude and which ones cannot. And then that's gonna be the first one. Then we jump to the physical database. Here, once we have the logical one, we go to the physical design, and this is where we take the abstract model and implement it into an actual database. So for the SSU, we created 6 tables, being one, the central fact table with 5 dimensions. So the fact table will contain the transaction data, while the dimension tables, like we spoke before, is going to store information about products, customers, employees, sales, and warehouses. So the star scheme structure allows the company, again, to track every transactions and to connect the relevant details. So as you can see here, we have somewhat a star scheme. We have like in the middle, we have the fact table, which is in the center, and then surrounded by the dimension tables, which you have information about sales, products, and warehouse location, and so on. And by creating, as we spoke about it, creating this will make easier for the company to see the relationship among them, to abstract the information, to understand how warehouses are going or how products are going as well, which one is more profitable. And again, the fact table contains the transactional data, while the dimension table stores information about each item, so sales, products, warehouse, and so on. And of course, so based on that, the idea is actually we're going to see on the next slide is what type of information we can extract. Of course, here, one of the ideas of the insights is to provide a clear and organized idea or view of the data, and then also to reveal relationship between tables, and of course that is going to help the company to make informed decisions. And also here I would like to mention Room, which it's super fun, and then you can simulate tables with samples of data. So for example, in the case of SSU, of course, the company have like his information about warehouse, employees, customers. So we would put everything in one place. And however, let's say we want to talk about location or thing like that, we could get information from government, or maybe bring like information from a trustworthy organization. But again, here would be information from the company, because we're going to talk about sales, we're going to about customers, warehouse. Those are informations from the company. So we would only put everything in one place, translating in a simple way for everyone to understand. So here is an example of macaron. So this is a table. So this one, I know it's small, but it's about customers. So here we have the first name, the last name, we have the email, we have gender, and we also have, if I'm not wrong, it's birth certificate, I think. So here, let's say we would like to know information about who buy uh, who type of product based on gender, for example. So you can use a command or code which will extract all the information that you want to know. Or let's say that we want information about people who buy a type of paper from such city. So depending on what the company wants to know, by using the tables and by use these commands, they will be able to extract exactly the information they want instead of looking one by one. So that's really fun. And also I like this website because even though my table is very simple, it gave me a perception of like, oh, this is real. This is like, that's how it's supposed to be. So that was really fun. So in conclusion, this project again was to design a star scheme, data warehouse for SSU paper confection, which is a company that sells paper like the entire country. So we wanted to put all this information in one place, which allows the company to see all transactions, to analyze profits, and to make better decisions. Because everything is going to be in one place in a easiest way to read. And of course, the idea of using a star scheme is because it's simple and it is efficient, and it is ideal for companies to read and managing large volumes of data, and also it helps to answer business questions. So for that reason, that's a good option for companies to do so, and so it was fun to do so. Of course, the one that we presented here was very simple, but that's the idea. Thank you.